We're vendors, and
Or we care too much about the mortgage
We're not
industry.
just a vendor, we're your friender. We actually created a category
Okay.
in that
We created a friender category.
in the conference list.
I'm gonna okay. Welcome to full disclosure, where we become your friender.
that's awesome. Well, rounding off this discussion, this recording block that we're having, we should do our LodeStar update to see what's going on with LodeStar and Settlewise, what's new. I hear we're about to have a company summit.
There's about anywhere between 1 to 2 feet of snow trying to disagree with that. So time to see you at
To be continued.
Yeah, to be continued on that. But yeah, no, I mean, we've got a lot going on, honestly. TMC, the in Scottsdale, Desert Disruption, that's what they're calling this one.
Yep.
Where we will launch Closing Clarity and we'll demo it in front of a group of lenders for the first time. So that's going to be fun.
You brought
Working on
it.
my slides for that. And then ICE Experience is honestly that and MBA Annual really are our two biggest shows of the year. We talk about them a lot because, to be quite honest, they're huge investment pieces for us.
Yeah.
ICE will dictate the year we have, and how many leads we come out of it really does impact the remainder of our year. So we're always in a lot of prep mode for that. I know a lot of vendors are as well.
Can only see one man on the side of your head.
It's
You mentioned a couple segments ago about how every conference is different and every conference has different things you have to focus on and want to get out of it. Well, like for you to say, it's all on like you to plan and orchestrate how our team organizes its efforts for those different outcomes and, strategies.
Gotten some help over the years.
Yes, it's gotten a lot easier as we, have processes and all of that. Like for example, Housing Wire, or not Housing Wire, MBA's IMB conference, right? I just told Hughes he was going. And he did everything else, right? So there is some
aside from your presentation for TMC, I feel that's very much a vibes show up in the same conference, which is
We love that.
Yeah. So we've got a little bit of a slow build up to ICE. And then it's rubber meets the road kind of energy. And then following ICE a few weeks later, we'll be able to hopefully show a new thing at Dark Matters Horizon Conference.
Yeah.
What that new thing is, I don't know.
Gave a big hint. So yeah, it's been a wild start to the year so far. Volumes up. Prep for our summit, prep for conferences. Our Settlewise team on the title side is scaling like crazy. So hiring there. So just a lot of things going on. I was sending a text to one of our friends the other night of like, oh, what's happening? And I like listed like 4 or 5 things. And I'm like, oh, I left a few things out. And he was like, oh my God, that's insane. I was like, it's
the problems they have.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Pretty much all in that category. So it's fun. Plus we're a little manic anyway. We, put
Always
stuff on our plate. If you're not, the car's not shaking, you're not moving fast enough. So
yeah. I mean, I feel like that's by now, if we find ourselves in free fall and are not building a plane in mid-fall, that's when we worry.
Yeah.
We haven't jumped out of a big enough plane then yet.
And I think we've recently institutionalized that a little bit more. We rolled out a 2-year goal for the company for 2026, 2027 to basically double our revenue while keeping our headcount under a 50% increase. So growing revenue, getting more efficient at that same time leads to about a 33% efficiency increase too. So a lot rolled up in that, but I'm really excited. That was a goal I mentioned I kind of was thinking about for a while. I really wanted a kind of good mission for the company in the next couple of years. So I think it gets us kind of more focused on that, slightly wheels shaking, pushing forward, but at least we're all pushing in the same direction. So
yeah. And I think I'm gonna throw one to you, Jim, of what does that mean for our lenders and the lenders that we partner with and all of that?
I mean, it's kind of more of the same. I think in order for us to keep the service we have, the culture we have, the community, the level of customer service, that importance for us, we are at a point where we're small as a company and need to grow aggressively, right? So like that, for me, it's all about self-protection. Like I love our team, I love our culture, and the only way that we can keep that in my opinion, at our sizes, continue to keep growing and getting more market share, right? And then the more we do that, the more ideas we get from customers, we can roll out to other customers. The more we can invest in seeing customers at conferences and new features, right? And being able to talk to all of our customers through our customer success team. So it just allows us to do more stuff better, I think, than anything else. Because at the end of the day, the majority of what we do is through our feeds product, and now we're introducing other things. So we very much have to be reliant on that and do that as well as we can.
Yeah, and I think another thing to note that I tried to get say, and you didn't say it in my statement, is stability, right? I think that's a big piece. It's something that lenders look to when we're doing due diligence and all of
that
that.
was why I talked about protecting our team and continuing to be around. It was,
it was there, but you didn't say the stability word.
I did not say it. Last time I said stability. I've refined it since then.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think that's a big piece as well, right? We like being stable, and like at the end of the day, that's something a lot of lenders ask us about when we go through due diligence, right? It's the stability question comes up a lot, and
fiscally stable, mentally unstable,
which is why we have these Inc. 5000 awards. We did remove one because we ran out of shelf space, so it's in the other room.
Gonna happen when we get another this year. If you don't double up, they're gonna put it down.
We don't have enough shelves.
Hang them from the ceiling.
But I mean, part of the reason we talk about these so much, and I think we tout these as the awards I think we're most proud of, is because they're independently audited and compared against all industries.
Completely quantitative.
Yeah. And it shows that we're financially stable and growing at a speed that is notable, right? We're in the top 5,000 of private companies in America across 3 of the last 4 years, which is great considering there was, some things that happened in the last 4 years.
If we were pumpkin, we'd get a ribbon at a state fair. I mean,
exactly.
Well, let's do outros because we have 8 minutes before you're hard out. So that'll get us.
Not hard out anymore.
Oh, okay, great.
Outros.
All right. Well, if we have like an extra 3 minutes, I had a question for you. Okay. So you're going into conference season. And one of the big things about LodeStar's culture in general and about conference season specifically is food.
Yes.
It's like the icing on the cake. We work hard, man. Our team works hard at conferences. In the evenings, we really look forward to company meals. Are there any meals either that you're stoked to return to or new frontiers that you're trying, like new ground you're trying to break on the road?
As long as this comes out after we have our dinner reservations, which we should have in 2 weeks. So that's my disclaimer, post-recording. We actually started a lovely tradition last ICE is we've always kind of gone to the SW Steakhouse at the Wynn. It's their premier steakhouse. It's absolutely delicious. And we've done it as like a team dinner. We have brought clients in the past and we've kind of shifted it to just be the team dinner, and we moved it to the last night of the conference. So it means that everyone does fly out a little bit later, but honestly, the conference ends at 5 anyways, so we're all there to pack up and do all of that. It doesn't really make that much of a difference.
And so people are flying out by next morning.
Yeah, we have one person who decided to opt into the red eye, right? Brave.
No.
But I think we started doing it to wrap up the show. We do what was your rose and your thorn of the conference.
Shout out to Jess Alexi.
Shout out to Jess for giving us that idea. And I think it really does a great job of just wrapping up a conference and recognizing the hard work that our team does. And another win shout out. They opened a new seafood restaurant that we're going to try this year, hopefully.
What was the name of the seafood restaurant?
I don't remember. It's just, I know it's directly across from SW in the Wynn layout. That's the bottom of that little place. If you've been to the Wynn, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like next to the bar Parasol and like SW's here and it's right here and there hasn't been a restaurant there for like 2 years.
Until now.
That's a big
Sounds
one.
fishy.
But overall, I mean, Vegas has really good food, honestly. Like the mortgage industry, I don't think we realize sometimes, I just want to say it, we're spoiled.
Oh, yeah.
We stay in nice places and we get to eat good food.
Yeah.
And so anyone who complains about that, I'm sorry.
Yeah. My parents-in-law owned a tractor dealership, and they would talk about like dealer conferences where they would, fly them out to wherever. And, I thought that's what all conferences are like. Our conferences, like at the Win, that's what conferences are like. And I would describe them and get disgusted.
Yeah.
Well, it's just,
It's, I mean, it's something that we think, those aren't cheap dinners, but I
No.
think there's a lot of benefit to doing that. And I think, I always say the ROI for a dinner like that is so high too. Like people really appreciate that, look forward to that. Even when I was going to conferences alone, I would always keep that last night of the conference tradition where like, I'm kind of burnt out right now. I just want to have a nice meal and go to bed.
Yeah.
And I think being able to do that as the team is really fun. Too, we had that steak dinner in Vegas for NBA annual, and it was the same thing. And it's just like it's one of my favorite kind of traditions.
Yeah, and I think it's been the thing is it's normally the most expensive meal we have of the whole show, including client dinners.
Definitely.
But yeah, it really comes down to, I think, recognizing especially as vendors, right? Our teams do a lot of work at shows.
Yeah.
Like you have to be on basically from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to
Yeah.
sleep for 3 days.
Yeah.
Like that is a lot, even for extroverts like myself.
And you're burning the candle at both ends too. And
Yeah. And so it really becomes like you have to show appreciation for that, especially in the bigger moments, right? It's not, you don't always have to do it, right? Like sometimes it's like, hey, we just want to go home.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
I think it's fun to meet people where where they're at. And generally the people who are opting in now to go to conferences for us want to be there. That's like kind of how they're wired, but like it's still tiring, right?
yeah. So I think that's important. And like also just saying it, lenders, if you're sending your people to shows, please give them some sort of food budget.
Yeah.
Like be realistic about it
Yeah.
because I talk to lenders and like if you're a lender and you're like, I have a $35 stipend. If you want to talk about closing costs, I'll buy you a drink, right? Like, like give me 30 seconds, I'll buy you. But like I think it's just be realistic with your expectations and your budgets that you're giving your employees, right? I understand putting limits on things and expense accounts,
But I mean,
but
even
know
that-
where you're sending people.
The difference too of like, $200 for a day versus $35 for a day, $175, $165. Not that big of a deal to most lenders, right? Like, and the difference that it makes to someone's experience and the difference that it makes to their attitude and how they show up for you as an employee is worth that in spades, right? So like, that's what I mean. And this is a more cynical view on these things, but it's been shown when people get stuff, they value that stuff more than if you literally just handed them that money, right? I think there's like a 2 to 4 times surcharge for valuing stuff, including dinners versus just getting handed money. Right.
Exactly.
And like, yeah, that's real. Right. And like, yes, is the right thing to do with showing appreciation, but it's just like, it is just a part of human behavior. Right.
Yeah.
So like, if like, the money you're saving by kind of doing something like that and limiting those stipends is actually like shooting yourself in the foot. Right. Because what's the cost of replacing an employee? How much are you going to pay a recruiter or have paid people to train them or all of that? So yeah.
Also, they're
Pennywise
talking
and
about
pound
it.
foolish. Yeah.
They're talking about it, and everyone will know your company policy.
Yeah. And on the upside, if that you have a generous policy, they will talk about that and everyone will know that, right? So, like I said, penny wise and pound foolish in a lot of those cases. So,
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for watching this episode of Full Disclosure. If you like our content, please like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We really appreciate it. We like to be able to continue to create good content. And we hope that this is good content. We think it is, but let us know if you don't think so in the comments down below.